Hello, second graders, and welcome to Math Lesson 3 of our mobile learning platform. Today we're going to talk about nearest minute or telling time to the nearest minute. And before we get started, let's go ahead and talk about our 5-minute intervals that we talked about in our last meeting. So boys and girls, I have a clock here and it shows 6 o'clock. And if we're going to go ahead and go 5-minute intervals, we'll start at the 0. And we're going to go, each big number is worth 5-minute intervals. Each little blue tick mark is worth 1-minute intervals. So as we go around the clock, we can count by 5s. We have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. And there are 60 dots around the clock because there are 60 minutes in the hour. Alrighty, second graders, let's go ahead and take a look then. As we have the clock and we set it to this time here, what time is this clock showing us to the nearest minute? Well, we know that it's past the 6 o'clock hour, not quite to the 7 o'clock. So it's 6 for the hour, and the minutes are between the 15 and the 20. So we can add on from the 15 and go 15, 16, 17, or we can count back from the 20-minute mark and go 20, 19, 18, 17. It is 6:17. Second graders, remember this should all help us figure out how to use our clocks when we're dealing with the analog clock such as this. Let's go ahead. What if our clock looked like this? What time is this one? Can you read this time for me, please? Reagan. Well, let's see. The hour hand is between the 8 and the 9, and the minute hand is between the 6 and the 7. So what time do you think it is? Well, it's going to be 8:31, 32. 8:32 is correct. Good job. Go ahead and get your math paper in front of you. We're doing lesson 12.3, nearest minute. Go ahead and get that out. Okay, second graders, so here we are looking at the worksheet 12.3 nearest minute, and we're talking about City Cat's diary. Let's read through it together. And at 6:55, what happened? 6:55, City Cat woke up. And at 6:56, the City Cat ate breakfast and drank milk. At 7:08, he played with a catnip mouse toy. At 7:11, he sat in the windowsill. At 7:26, he did what? He played with the fish. Good job. And at 7:38, he jumped on Ravi to wake him up. So boys and girls, if we follow the arrow from 7:26, it shows us that the minute hand will show 26 minutes after 7. So we're going to start at a point that we know, or a familiar point, like 7:15, and count on. So I don't know if you would be fine counting at 7:15 and counting on. Many of you are good with the clock, but if we go with what they're showing us here, we'll go from 7:15, we'll go 15, 20, 25. We want to show 26 minutes after 7. And so from the 25, we have to go one more and it'll be 26, just like they're showing us here. So 26. To tell the time to the nearest minute, we count on or back from the nearest 5-minute point. Boys and girls, you're all really good with the 5 minutes. So let's take a look at what they want us to do. To tell the time, we're going to count on or back. So for 7:40, going back to 7:38, we're going to go 7:40 is to the 8. Count back 1 minute, 2 minutes to 7:38. Okay, that's how we're going to count back. So we can count on from what we know or count back, just like when we're adding and subtracting. We're going to write the time on the line. Can you tell me what time clock number 1 says, please, Jacob? Clock number 1 says, well, let's look. The hour hand is here. It's between the 3 and the 4, so what is the hour? 3. And the minute hand is pointing to the 2. Do you guys remember what is the 2? How many minutes? 10. So we have 3:10 is the time frame. Good job. 3:10 is our time. What about the next clock? What hour is it here? Quincy. 6 is the hour. Good job. And what about the minutes? Where do you want to start for the minutes? Well, we know that if we start at the 12, we're at 0, right? So going from the 12, counting on, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. So we're going to show 6:03. Good job, second graders. Moving on to the next clock, I have what time is showing there? Well, it looks like it's at the 9, but is it at the 9? Let's look where the minute hand is. The minute hand's here. It's at the end of the hour. So if it's at the end of the hour, do you think we're in the 8 o'clock time or the 9 o'clock time? 8 o'clock. It's not 9 o'clock yet. So 8 what? What would your minutes be? Let's count back from the 12. 12 would be 60, so let's go 59, 58, 57, 56. 8:56 is the time frame there. Great work, second graders. Turn your paper over. Let's see what we can do. We'll read through the directions together, and then we'll do the review. And then I'll go back and work on the paper with you. Okay, so we're going to write the correct time. So just like we just did, read the clocks and fill in the time frame. Then you're going to draw the hands to show the time. Okay, boys and girls, you're good at this. You've done it before. I know it's a little harder without your little clock, so just remember the hour hand is the short hand, the minute hand is the long hand. You're going to write in the time. So 7:09, we're going to show that by drawing 7 is the hour is 7, so I want a short hand here. 7:09. It's almost to the 10, but not quite. Right on? Okay, second grade. Let's review. We're going to write the number of line segments and angles for each plane figure. So let's count the line segments. Remember, a line segment has a start point and an end point. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 line segments. How many angles? Let's change my color so you can see them. We have 1 angle, 2 angles, 3 angles, 4 angles. All right, second grade, line segments. Let's see, we have, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 line segments. How many angles? Counting. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So far, so good. Any questions? If you have them, hold on to them. And when we talk, you can ask. All right. How about the circle? How many line segments do you see in the circle on your page? There are no line segments in a circle. 0 is the answer. And angles? That's right, 0 angles as well. Good job, second graders. If you feel like you've got this, you can stop the video here. And if you'd like to continue, we can finish the paper together. Stay with me. All right, moving back to the top on number 4, writing the correct time. Starting with the hour hand, it's pointing right up here toward the 12 o'clock. Hasn't gotten to the 1 yet, so I'm pretty safe to say it's in the 12 o'clock range. 12 for my hour. What is the minute? If 12 o'clock is the hours and my minute hand's pointing over here, it's 12. Let's count, boys and girls. Here's 5, 10, 12, 10. Good work. Moving on to the next clock. The hour hand is pointing at the what number? 8. Write down the 8. And what is our minute hand pointing to? It's not quite to the 1, so it's not at 5. It looks to me like it's pointing to what time? Let's count back 1. Yep, I'd say 8:04. What do you think? Okay, second grade, next clock. That clock's showing us it's just past the top of the hour, right? It's just past the 12 o'clock mark. So it's 11. And if it's pointing to the 1, how many minutes is the 1 representing? It's 11:05. All right, second graders, looking at the next clock on the bottom, it's past the 6 o'clock. It hasn't gotten to the 7 o'clock yet. So it's right in between here. So we know the hour is 6. What is the minute? Our minutes in this clock are, let's see, here's 20, 21, 22. What do you think? 6:22? Let's try. Maybe it's 6:21. Oh, 6:21. Remember, to the nearest minute, the best you can do, right? So draw your lines if you're not sure. It'll help. Next clock is again in the 6 o'clock range. So it's 6. And what is your minute there? It's pointing right at the 4. And we know that the 4 is 5, 10, 15, 20, 6:20. And our last clock for this section, the hour hand is pointing just past the 8. So I know it's 8 for my hour. 8, what? 8:05, 06, 07. 8:07 is what I think we've got. Any questions on that one, second grade? Okay, let's go ahead and draw the hands to show the times. Number 6, we have to show 4:14. So my hour hand will point too close to the 4 o'clock, just past it, not too far. 4:14 should show almost to the 3. Remember that the minute hand is longer than the hour hand. Okay, then we have 2:50. So 2:50 is almost 3 o'clock. So it should be between the 2 and the 3, closer to the 3. And the minute hand should point to the 10. All right, second graders, then we have 10:21. So let's go ahead and go, here's 10 in between the 10 and 11, but closer to the 10, 21. Then we're gonna show 3:42, oh, I'm sorry, 9:24. 9:24 is our next one for number 9. So we're gonna go past the 9 toward the 10, but not all the way and not too far. Go to 24. So I know then it has to be close to the 5, just not to the 5 all the way yet. Okay, and do your very best job to draw your hands on the clocks. They may not be perfect, but mine are not either. Okay, second graders, let's look at number 10. We're going to show 3:42. So we need to show our hour hand past the 3 on its way to the 4, because it's 3:42. We're almost done with the 4 o'clock hour. 3, here's 40, 41, 42. So I want to point toward that dot. All right, second graders, that's it for this worksheet. If you have any questions, set it aside and we'll chat soon. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.